And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work out?
It doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, the movies, look at the
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
flex, now I'm flex. Got cans open that purple, got metal bitches.
These are facts.
I'm wearing Reynolds, Rexing, I'm having fun, just sexting.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, the movies, look at the
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
flex, now I'm flex. Got cans open that purple, got metal bitches.
These are facts.
I'm wearing Reynolds, Rexing, I'm having fun, just sexting.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, the movies, look at the
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
flex, now I'm flex. Got cans open that purple, got metal bitches.
These are facts.
I'm wearing Reynolds, Rexing, I'm having fun, just sexting.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, the movies, look at the
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
flex, now I'm flex. Got cans open that purple, got metal bitches.
These are facts.
I'm wearing Reynolds, Rexing, I'm having fun, just sexting.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, the movies, look at the
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
flex, now I'm flex. Got cans open that purple, got metal bitches.
These are facts.
I'm wearing Reynolds, Rexing, I'm having fun, just sexting.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, the movies, look at the
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
flex, now I'm flex. Got cans open that purple, got metal bitches.
These are facts.
I'm wearing Reynolds, Rexing, I'm having fun, just sexting.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, the movies, look at the
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
flex, now I'm flex. Got cans open that purple, got metal bitches.
These are facts.
I'm wearing Reynolds, Rexing, I'm having fun, just sexting.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the
Check,
Oscars,
check,
look
mic
at the
check.
groupies, the movies, look at the
It's only a matter of time.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Tuesday, February 24th. My name is Icy Gaming, and we are back with Gaming Daily Live. Mount Doji in the chat early, Llama in the chat early, Sunshine in the chat early. You absolutely love to see it. And it's cool. We got YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter back to back to back. Super, super fun to see that. Let's get some light in here. My goodness, I'm so I gotta do something with this lighting, man. I gotta fix this lighting. You can hear me. You can hear me. That is right. We are live, back in effect. Power to the people. We back to do maintenance. Yeah. We gonna rock like crack when it came in. I appreciate y'all. We got a banger episode as always. What else is new? We always got a banger episode for you. More streams for your head top. We got special guest Andrew Campbell coming on the show later to tell us about Play to Earn 2.0 and what he is doing with Dilem, like Prisoner's Dilemma, I think is like the idea behind the name Dilem, Dilem.ai. Super interesting. I'm excited to chat about that. We also we're going to be talking about Xbox. We're going to talk about Ronin. We're going to be talking about major updates to Wilder World. That they are going all in on AI. Super interesting. I want to break that down. We got big teases from Off the Grid, teasing like a platform for revenue. They're doing major things. We got the new Arc Raiders update going live today, guys. We might have to end the stream early because I might have to go play Arc Raiders. Real talk. Fableborn raised $3 million today, bringing their total fundraising to $15 million. There's a lot that we're going to break down. So yeah, I'm excited. Appreciate y'all for being here. Hope you had a good day. Stream your Arc Raider play. I need to. I actually need to. The thing is, I have to, because I got a new Mac Studio, I have to get like the connection so I can play the game on my gaming PC, but then stream it from my Mac. Thank you for reminding me about that. You need more viewers, and what's better? Yeah, no, for sure. I'm 100% with you, Llama. I appreciate that. We definitely need more viewers. But shout out to Chloe crushing on the clips. I think the clips have been doing really well on the channel, and I've been really enjoying that. Also, shout out to AVAX because they sent me these poker chips, and like I've got a whole set back there. Actually, this black case right there is actually a poker chip set, and I don't know. I've been like playing. Let's see if you can see it. I've been playing with these chips. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here, you can see right here. Watch my little chip moves. So I don't think you guys can hear on the thing, but this is what I've been doing. Straight up telling you to gamble. Yeah, for sure. It's kind of like my fidget spinner. I don't know. Whatever. Should we just get into the show? Yeah, you can hear a bit. Nice. Hopefully people on the calls that I've been having calls with can't hear it. Guys, I love hanging out with you every single day. Thank you so much for being here. It means so much. Really just, I love doing this show, man. So let's get right into the news. Ooh, I don't think that I added this to the Twitter, so we're not streaming the right thing. Let's see. Here we go. There it is. I will move over here and let's get right into it. So, is it over for Xbox? It might be over for Xbox, dude. Did PlayStation win the Xbox war, the console wars? Guys, oy vey. Amid the official statements from last week, Phil Spencer stepping down, one of the biggest shakeups ever at Xbox, one of its original creators believes that Microsoft's true plan is to bring its gaming business to an end. I forget this guy's name. If I click into the link, it was hold on, actually I've searched it. His name was Seamus Blackley. What a name. He says Xbox is being sunsetted in the management shakeup, says one of its original creators. Xbox has just been, I mean, like, what is anyone looking forward to on Xbox right now? Right? I know they had their handheld that was like basically like a PC in your pocket. That is like it in terms of Xbox. Even the original, why am I blanking? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking? Halo. Even Halo is getting remade for the PlayStation 5. PlayStation 6 is starting to make, noise in the media. We have Seamus. Is it Seamus? Doji. Damn. Thank you, Doji. I appreciate you. Seamus Blackley. Even still, dude, what a name. What a great name. We have Grand Theft Auto 6 coming. PlayStation, listen, not to get into the whole console wars, because I never had that's not true. I had a dog in the fight because I'm a PlayStation guy. I never could afford a PlayStation and an Xbox. So I just played PlayStation, and then I missed out on everybody that had Xboxes and played Halo and everything. So, but I liked living in a world where Xbox and PlayStation pushed each other to be better. And yeah, the whole fractured nature of gaming kind of sucks because, we've got a PlayStation, but we can't play any of the Nintendo games because you need Nintendo consoles. And it's just it's so freaking expensive. if you want to be a gamer and enjoy all of the great games that gaming has to offer. We've lived long enough to see Xbox die. It's overpriced. A lot of things are overpriced, which is just absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, with Microsoft at the helm of Xbox, doesn't really look good for the boys. And so, like, what does that mean for Sony and PlayStation? Does Sony double down in gaming? Do they double down in PlayStation? Obviously, PlayStation 6 with GTA 6 is just going to be, massive. I mean, I think we're looking at like 2027, 2028, 2029 for PlayStation 6. So maybe even 2030. So we still have a few more years on the PS5, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where they go with it. Does it turn into some type of AI thing, or are they running LLMs on the PS6? Is it doing, what kind of computation is it going to be doing? What kind of hardware is it going to have? It'll be really interesting to see how that shapes up. I'm not mad at PlayStation being, the de facto console in the world, being a PlayStation kid myself. It's just like, what is Microsoft doing? It's like they got to get their stuff together. I guess we'll keep it moving. I don't really have much else to say on that. In other exciting gaming news, we got Overwatch Mobile. Overwatch Rush has been revealed, setting the timeline ablaze. A bunch of ChatGPT run Arc Raiders. A bunch of group chats were popping off talking about this, like getting reactions. It's a top-down hero shooter set in the Overwatch universe. Honestly, looks good. Looks really good. I was never an Overwatch guy. Again, I know, like, I missed out on so many major gaming eras. It's kind of, I'm sad. I'm insecure about it, guys. I'm insecure. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. But I play Marvel Rivals. I love Marvel Rivals. So I get, the Overwatch love. Overwatch, was a special time in gaming period. And cool, like really cool to see their mobile game. I'm pretty big on quality mobile games. Like I said, I have over easily probably over 2,000 hours in Call of Duty Mobile. That might be a stretch. Easily over 1,000, easily. And so this game looks great. This game kind of looks like Supervive. Top-down hero shooter. It actually reminds me a lot of Supervive. Rest in peace. We actually have their goodbye trailer up next. But yeah, what do you guys think about Overwatch? Are you guys Overwatch fans? Are you playing Overwatch? Does Overwatch Rush do anything for you? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Or are you like me and just playing Marvel Rivals right now? Moving on, we did want to say goodbye and bid our farewells to Supervive. The game officially shut down yesterday, and they said it's been an honor of a lifetime. Thank you to everyone who joined us on this journey.
Oh my God, he got out.
Concept art, early maps, development, the history. Yeah, right? Overwatch. Now it does. It really does.
This is a special edition.
I mean, I think the IP of Supervive was unique and had a lot of love and passion just built in. It was made with love.
Hello. Welcome into Saturday Night Supervive. We are here for the
Great studio, great game. We wish them nothing but the best. I know, Sam, Peyton, a bunch of Wolves played a ton of Super Vive and really loved the game. I just don't think they found traction, Llama. I don't think they found traction. Running a live service game like that is really expensive, and they just couldn't afford it. Like, they just didn't have the revenue, the funding. They weren't getting the players, and weren't getting the revenue, the money coming in. So money makes the world go round, and unfortunately that had to come to a stop for Super Vive. They couldn't survive. You know who is surviving and thriving? Not to make a harsh transition there, but dude, Arc Raiders, man, the new map condition went live today. You could jump into Arc Raiders and play it right now. They teased it yesterday with this banger, teaser trailer.
It is an emergency. Then what do I log it as? Maintenance.
New arcs.
Why the hell have I got Raiders topside?
The hurricane is like deadly. I saw some clips today. It's super punishing. There's a new Raider deck. You got Beards. There's a new project in damn Battleground. I mean, dude, I'm excited to jump back into Arc Raiders. They just keep coming with the content, man. Keep coming with the content. This is a masterclass on how to keep the content coming, and they were ready. They built with a lot of this content already in mind, these stories. It's just, it's great, man. The Shrouded Sky update is now live. GG's to them. Let's talk crypto games, man. The story of the day by far, Power Protocol. I feel like we're talking about them almost every day. Power Protocol, man. Pixion Games, Fableborn is just undefeated. $3 million invested from Bitcraft Ventures. Incredible. Clap it up for the boys. Congratulations, Cam. Congratulations, Maria. Congratulations, Tyler. TCAF, the entire Fableborn team. Their funding is now $15 million. $15 million in total from Bitcraft, Delphi, Spartan, Ronin, Animoca, L1D, Arete, Capital, YGG. The token is doing well. The game is doing well. Everything. Like, dude, if every game did what Fableborn has been doing, crypto gaming would be in a beautiful state. Like, crypto gaming would be thriving at every single level. Their token's up. Their community's happy. Their investors are happy. The gamers are happy. The game is doing well. Although, like, at the same time, it's really interesting that they have been able to launch their token, launch the game in like these very short seasoned debut events where we've only had season 4 of Fableborn, and it was like 2 weeks. And the expectation debt, we talk about this often in crypto and certainly crypto gaming. Like, they have been meeting their players' expectations. They've been meeting, the investor expectations. They don't have all this expectation debt. They have launched their token. They've been showing game development, and they're not at a point where the game is out yet. So they can't fail. There's nothing that can happen right now that will be negative for them. Other than the token going down, but I feel like they're kind of, propping it up or, manufacturing it a little bit so that the token performance is well. So great job in narrative control and just creating this energy around them that is really working well. I mean, we had YP posting this, was this today? Yeah, this was today. His airdrop from Power is now worth over $50,000. He says that he sold half of it. Thank you, Fableborn. It's up 36% in 24 hours, over 60 cents. I think when we talked about it yesterday or the day before, it was at 52 cents. So the thing just keeps going up, man. Major funding from Bitcraft, $3 million in this market right now is a lot of money to keep building and investing. I mean, they've raised money after their token went live. That is powerful. Get it? Power Protocol, powerful. They are full of power because they've got a lot of funding now. They've got a lot of dry powder that they can continue to craft the narrative, bring the game out and just continue to do well. So very, very exciting. Congrats to them. Moving on, we got Jiho with his current state of Neo gaming. Some thoughts. We've got Rayhan here. Oh my goodness. Rayhan asking him or posting, there are 0 games from Ronin after Axie Infinity, Pixels, and Fableborn. He says that the general, Llama, I was going to ask you, man. I went to Grok, I went to Claude. I'm like, what is Neo gaming? I don't know, man. I was hoping you would know. Is this like new gaming, new evolution of gaming, Neo? I didn't know. I didn't know what that meant either. But this guy's like kind of saying like, yo, man, where the games at? Like, we want to come to Ronin and enjoy games and earn money. He's like, Open Ronin didn't bring any notable games or gamers to enjoy Web3. Jihos claps back. Says you missed Moku, Angry Dynamite's Fishing Frenzy, Ragnarok Online, Genesis. He's like, between these, that's enough games to be honest for now. The majority of the good Web3 games. He says On-Chain Heroes, Gigaverse. Isn't Cambria? I thought Cambria was on Ronin. I'm surprised that he didn't mention Cambria here. He's like, I agree with you, but the reality is always driven by and motivated by money. These games are not like Pixel or Axie Origins. At the end of the day, Web3 gamers want to earn... Oh, gosh, hold on. I clicked the thing. He says, Web3 gamers want to earn some money, too. He says, I still think Ronin is the best place for earning and enjoying money. Nobody can beat that. This guy, at least he's honest. He's like, come on, man. I want to play games and make money, dude. He's like, do your job, Jiho. Pay me to play games, man. Like, the entitlement in this post is crazy. But I understand. I mean, this is like a lot of the community sentiment, If you got into Axie Infinity to play games and earn money, that is what you think of Ronin. And that's what a lot of people thought of crypto gaming and what they wanted it to be. Who doesn't want to play games and, make money? Jiho says the era of super easy for anyone to earn money can only last for a bit of time as a limited time incentive campaign to build awareness. Otherwise, nobody would ever know about your product in the first place, so that once the incentives are lessened, a group of users remain. He's not wrong. It's like that's marketing. Play to earn was just marketing, but it wasn't ever sustainable. Then the earning mechanisms shift towards proof of actually doing hard things that help the project, proof of skill by basically predicting that you can outperform versus others with real stakes on the line, flipping collectibles based on market and economic fluctuations and trends. It's like, where's the meme of like, that's crypto gaming? And then like the astronaut zooming out on the earth, like conspiracy theory, like always has been. Yeah, I mean, play to earn. I mean, Gio is saying it right here. Play to earn is just, upfront marketing, like for a short amount of time. But for it to ever be sustainable, you actually have to move, pivot towards actually making money and having revenue and, having enough players that can make the game economy work. Otherwise, you end up like Supervive and they shut down like the 60 games that shut down last year. So it is what it is. Okay, more Ronin for your head top. They've got their first town hall of 2026 on March 3rd. So if you want to talk to Jiho more about that or hear more about what they're doing, you can jump into that town hall. So what is this going to be like in 2 weeks? It looks like. So mark your calendar. There you go. Next up today, the Beacons Goblin Gambit preseason 1 is live. You contribute gabloons, earn Kraken favor, climb the leaderboard, see you at the cellar. I don't really know much about this Goblin's Gambit, to be honest, and I feel like my affinity for the Beacon has just been kind of like waxing and waning. They were really popular a year or two ago, and the game was good and fun, but like it's just too little. There's just too little of, you know, like content and gameplay throughout the year. We get like, yeah, we get this once a year, and it's hard. I don't know. I'm very curious about it. I'd love to talk to them. I'd love to like have them on the stream. Can see more of that video. The Beacon it's kind of like a roguelite dungeon crawler. I guess we've got this playtest. What is it? A 2-day playtest? It's a 3-day. We get like once a year we get a 3-day playtest. And then this is actually like very different from the dungeon crawler game. This looks more like a gacha style, risk to earn mechanic kind of thing. So it's just like, it's tough, man. I'm in a tough spot with my excitement and love for the Beacon. I just feel like their moment is like they're like missing the window. They're missing their moment. I feel like their moment has kind of come and gone. Because there's a lot of there's a lot of these style games right now that you could play. 3 years ago, it was like, okay, cool, yeah, like this was interesting. All right, we're just gonna move on. You know who is crushing it right now? Dude, Don't Die is sick. I highly recommend you guys go play Don't Die. You can play it for free in the browser. The tutorial is enjoyable. I played it on stream yesterday with Doug Hype and the Biddle Mode girls, Van Ho and Luana. We had Nick Metzler on the stream last week, and it took me a minute to like understand the game, but it's really fun. It was so like, I played it last night at like 11 o'clock at night before going to bed, because I was like, I wanted to just play the game. I wanted to, go back in there and see what would happen. So everything that Nick talked about was absolutely true. The game is really well designed. Really well designed. Like, I made the joke. I was like, I didn't know Web3 games could be well designed. Like, it's clear to me that Nick Metzler is a really great game designer, because it has all of the little things, all the little hooks and like difficulty, but then you learn and you overcome, and then you want to just keep playing. So, what he talked about on stream, right? It gives you hope of like, okay, I hope I can, win or go further. And then it gives you agency where you've got enough like decision making in the game where you're like, oh, like this is a really interesting decision tree. Do I go here? Do I play it safe, or do I gamble and risk it? Like which way is this going to go? Is this going to pay off? It's really rewarding. It's such a simple game too. Like, it's an auto battler. But, it's an auto battler that like knows it's an auto battler. So you're not playing, like, there's enough kind of work before you get into the auto battle part where you're building with the RPG mechanics and like the skills and the different abilities. And you can like, invest in your dice, which are like, you can upgrade them and have different skills and attacks and defenses. So like each time you're building out your own, skill tree. and then, RNGing it. So it's actually really fun. I highly recommend it. And they've got their $5,000 tournament going on right now. The tournaments are kind of based like poker tournaments where you can enter for like $1 or $5 or $10. And then if you like come out the victor, you're going to win other people's money. So it has the risk to earn built in a really good way. I was a big fan of Don't Die. Next up, we got to talk about Neo, not from the Matrix Neo, from Wilder World. Says, quick update, we've made major structural changes that we'll detail soon, but the TLDR is that over the past several months, we've reoriented the entire project to be AI first at every single layer. Their goal is not to just use AI, but to build the core AI systems that shape the future of their metaverse. He says the vision will not change, the products will not change, and many key people on the team will not change, but they are going all in building and leveraging with AI. And yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, cool update. Like, I'm glad that they post about this and let us in on what they're doing. Over the next 30 to 60 days, they're going to release a new generation of products and services that accelerate everything that we do. 100% of it will be open source, on chain, and designed with security, privacy, and sovereignty at its core. Dude, you got to love these guys, man. They have a very strong vision for what they are building and what they want to build. And I mean, how can you not love it? How can you not love it? Then today they released Wilder World version 0.11.1. I don't know what this version mode is. Update to super early access, primarily focuses on packs opening as well as a ton of quality of life updates to the Rebellion and the open world. They spent a bunch of time going through player feedback, yada, 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 all this stuff. Outside of the core development, they're focused on several key initiatives: browser-based mobile version of Wilder World, builder tools, AI generation, agent spawning, Zode operations. He says this stuff is not just concept. Most of it is working and will be ready to start onboarding people. They believe crypto, gaming, and AI meet in the metaverse, and they can imagine a future where millions of AI agents are operating inside Wilder World and simultaneously building it later this year. It's hard not to agree with the AI, crypto, and gaming Venn diagram. My only problem is like, who is going to be the one to crack that? And sometimes, you see multiple people trying to like take different approaches at it. Right? We just talked to Justin Waldron yesterday with Play.fun, and that is AI, crypto, and gaming, but a much different approach than a AAA, metaverse game. So very cool though. Shout out to Wilder World. I love to see the vision, and I love to see them building and cooking. All right, let's keep it moving. We got more updates that we got to talk about. Guns Official says they're launching a new product this week, and that it is a platform and a new revenue engine for the entire Gunzilla Games ecosystem. And it connects something that's been sitting right in front of the gaming industry for 30 plus years. Interesting. What does that mean? It's not a game update. It's not a patch. It's not a partnership announcement. It's a platform. And they've got VR glasses on. Something. I'm so intrigued. Please don't let us down, Gunzilla. Please be like something sick. Please, I hope that is good. Let's keep it going, guys. Medieval Empires. We got to show the boys some love. Shout out to them today. 2 days ago. Oh, this is an old video. 2 days ago. You're building, Llama? Llama, what are you building, man? Let me know in the DMs, dude. What are you up to? Medieval Empires shows their journey from, early iterations to where they're at now. And their next major milestone coming soon, the public release of their Android version Very exciting. Clap it up for the builders. Clap it up for the builders, the people that have, stayed true, not wavered, continue to build. You love to see it. Mahen says he won an NFT. We love that. Congratulations. One of our NFTs, like one of our giveaways, or in something like, what did you win? Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Like, does he drive a car? Steam Next Fest is back with new demos until March 2nd. Steam Fest is here, ladies and gentlemen.
We get asked a lot about what we think is going to be the next popular
genre
or theme in gaming, and our answer is always the same. All of them? For proof, look no further than the February 2026 edition of Steam Next Fest. Even games with similarities are as different as they can be, like open world adventures. Games with survival and piracy. And games that are farming amidst mines and dangerous monsters. There are games about running.
Mahen says that he DM'd me. Do we have DMs open, brother? Do we have DMs open? Can you tag me? Can you tag me on the stream, like underneath the stream post? Steam Next Fest is back. Remember to mention Gaming Daily website and Twitch URL in the end. Have it on the footer would be cool. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I should be doing that. Guys, we got some crypto games in Steam Next Fest. We got Crystal Fall being featured. Their demo is out now. You can play it during Steam Next Fest. Talking about another kind of ARPG game. Looking really good. This is an interesting game because I think that they started on AVAX. They got some early like traction with like an AVAX grant, or they were building on AVAX or something like that. But it seems now that they've like kind of transitioned and they're positioning themselves as a traditional, Web 2 game. There's like no mention of this stuff. Obviously they're on Steam and they're driving wish lists and stuff. Game looks good. So congrats to them. You definitely want to see that. They also had their trailer or like gameplay shown on IGN. So this is the IGN YouTube page. Can't really show it all that great. But there's 21 minutes of gameplay on IGN. It's only got 7,000 views right now, but I mean, to get on IGN, to be on Steam Next Fest, big achievements. Mahen says that he commented on Gaming Daily. So someone from Gaming Daily should be reaching out to you. That we have collab managers that run the account, social media managers that run the account. But yeah, we should be reaching out to you. Congratulations on winning. And we'll definitely get that to you. If it's Spectre Games or one of the ones, fulfillment always takes a little while because we're, facilitating that on the game's behalf and all that. But appreciate you stopping by, dropping the comment. Definitely keep me in the loop. We'll make sure that you get your NFT one way or the other. But someone should be reaching out to you soon. Mahen, appreciate you, brother. Spot Zero is another game that is live for playtesting during Steam Next Fest. You can go to their store right there. Spot Zero, the 3D adventure ARPG from Tarta Games. Were they doing stuff on Immutable? Who were they partnered with? I forget. I feel like it was Immutable. But either which way, Spot Zero doing their thing. There was also like some Spot Zero drama. Wasn't there drama back on the timeline? I'd have to like go through. We cover so many news stories and so many games that sometimes it's honestly hard to keep track of everything. Burna. Let's talk about Burna, the Burna man. Burna shared his tier list of Web3 games. Guys, if you're ever like needing engagement, all you have to do is make a tier list. Guaranteed 100 comments, 10, 20,000 views, 100,000, remember when Verted went viral last year for like 300,000 views on his tier list? I mean, yeah, call him on the Burna phone. Ring, ring. Burna, what's up? Tell us about Ave Forge. So very funny. He's trying to rage bait the timeline. He made the tier list upside down. So his E list is actually all the games that he's super excited about: Gigaverse, Moku, Cambria, Origins, On-Chain Heroes, Ave Forge. Is this Is this Cambria, but like their like dungeon one? P2E, like DeFi Kingdoms. Do we have DeFi Kingdoms on here? I don't see them off the top of my list. But yeah, there's a lot of play to earn games for sure. In the wrecked list, he's got Pirate Nation, Goat Gaming, Shrapnel, Infinigods, Chronos Worlds, Sparkball. This was, what was the shooter on AVAX? Rift Point, Waypoint, whatever the one. You guys know the one. We played it a ton. Jonah was working with them. Whatever happened to those guys? F-Chain. They were doing like F-Chain. Whatever happened with that? Far away. And they did the Shatterline. That was the name. Tell me that isn't. So it's upside down. So this is actually his wrecked tier. These are his wrecked tier. So absolutely wrecked games. And then it's upside down. So Fableborn, Wild the World, Super Trip, Tolan, Wildcard, Lowland, Providence, Pudgy. I don't know this game. Is that Medieval Empires? A lot of them are upside down. Anyways, that was Berna's tier list. Shout out to the boy. Let's see. I should probably get into this Google call where we are going to have Ziori coming up soon. Yeah, and ignore the... I mean, a lot of people did. He kind of did that on purpose so that he could, rage bait people and then correct them and, cause a little drama and, cause a little stir. You gotta love it. Shout out to the boy. All right, let me open up this Google Meet. Let me jump in here real quick. We'll just mute there and we will wait for Andrew Campbell. Okay. Next up, we got Upshot Cards. Ghost Cat in the building. Ice and Dark in the building. Appreciate y'all. Good to see y'all. Upshot. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh my gosh. We're 4 stories ahead. Upshot released their pre-order packs. They're officially live. Limited supply, discounted bundles, supercharged prize rewards, boosted rewards, and XP. Not financial advice, but maybe one to look at. We're actually going to have Retri from Upshot on the stream on Thursday to tell us more about this. So if you're interested, Alpha coming on Thursday, going to learn all about what they're building. And it's going to be a good one. I really like what they're doing. It's very interesting. It's very new and experimental. So with that always comes a lot of risk, right? I think we just have to start quantifying that a lot more. It's like, this is new, experimental, and highly risky, but also like fun while it lasts, I should share my screen here so that when they come, that would be good. Also turn off the audio. That'll be good. Okay. Beautiful. Very cool. Oh, did that change that? No. Maybe a little bit, but barely. Interesting. So yeah, the cards are live. Go check that out. And if you want to wait until Thursday, that makes sense too. Next up, we're going to talk about Eden. Eden.game. This is a kill to earn predict game on Solana. They called themselves the PvP Arena. Built with love by Xpunk NFTs. So I don't really know too much about them. I think I saw, now that I'm looking at this, I think I saw this video and I was like, yeah, this isn't something that I want to promote just yet. Andrew Campbell is here. Give me 1 second. Andrew, welcome. I'm gonna get to you in just a couple minutes. So hang out with us, and we'll bring you on the stream. Okay. Awesome. I'm just gonna mute there for Andrew. Very interesting. So they tried to have a pre-sale, but they did not reach their $300,000 target. So unfortunately, they're like, listen, we don't have the money right now, so we are going into hibernation until we secure the alternative funding, which may take months. It may take longer. They don't know yet. 'Tis not a good year for ICOs or TGEs. You're absolutely correct. They love what they're doing. They said they proved the concept. They proved the game loop. They proved retention. I don't know how they did that. They just need the money. They need the money. Very interesting, but like, hey, respect. They tried to do a pre-sale ICO. It did not work. They didn't get the funding, and they came back and they're like, well, you know, this is where we're at. This is where we are at. So, you know, it is what it is. Looks like they were making the rounds too, really trying to bring the content. Oh, they worked with Nopera. Nopera's got some gameplay. It just looked like a regular kind of shooter. You know, we've seen this kill to earn kind of model. So, and Nopera is the best at it. He was the biggest player in BR1 Infinite. So I'm not surprised that he was all in on this Solana game. But I mean, yeah, just there was not enough interest for it. Guys, we're going to keep it moving. KGen dropped a big update. Batop's in the building. Good to see you, bro. KGen, good ecosystem update from them. Crazy numbers. Hard to believe numbers. $83.5 million in annual recurring revenue. 40 plus campaigns launched. 1 billion K points unlocked. I mean, arguably, KGen, we talk about KGen a lot because arguably they are crushing it. And apparently, yeah, they're doing really well. This is a big, long post, really just kind of recapping everything that they've been doing. So, you know, congrats to them. They have done some stuff with Storming and Puke from the Doodles ecosystem. So very cool, very cool. And then our last story before we bring on Andrew Campbell, major changes coming to the Abstract XP ecosystem. Historically, the XP was rewarded for general chain participation, but that is now moving more to on-chain activity. So basically, where is it? I just clicked like the wrong thing. Yeah, they just want like people who are trading and spending money and driving transaction volume. So if you're still in the Abstract ecosystem, I'm curious whether these are very welcomed updates or, you know, how people are feeling about this. I have kind of fallen out of Abstract's orbit. You know, I was streaming on there, but the platform wasn't really growing. I feel like Luca hasn't really been giving it a lot of the TLC that it really deserves. And I'm still very bullish on Abstract. I do like their approach. And, you know, I think Saigar is brilliant. I think the team over there is really, really strong. But I'm just kind of waiting for it to kind of take off because it didn't take off the way that I was hoping for it to. With that said, guys, let's bring on Andrew Campbell. Give me 30 seconds. I'm going to put the away screen on, and then we'll come back with Ziori to tell us all about Play to Earn 2.0 with Dilem, Dilem.ai. So bear with us, guys. We'll be right back. What's up, Andrew? These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars. Look at the groupies. The movies. Look at the triple.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars. Look at the groupies. The movies. Look at the triple.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
Okay, we are back. We are live. The formatting looks good. It's working so well. Andrew Campbell, welcome to Gaming Daily Live. Good to see you, my friend. It's been a little while.
Likewise.
Very excited to have the conversation today. For anyone who's not familiar with you and your background, you just want to do a quick introduction to the stream and
Totally.
your history in crypto gaming.
Yeah, so my name's Andrew Campbell. Online, I go as Iori. I used to be an esports guy. I was a Dota 2 commentator for most of my professional career, ran tournaments, ran a broadcasting studio, got into crypto around 2017, mining Litecoins, playing around with Ethereum, pretty basic stuff. Got tuned into Axie Infinity, and come 2021, I ended up working for them, doing some community building. I was out there on the front lines with Jiho, just doing general evangelism around play to earn, and ended up doing most of their esports stuff. I was the director of esports at the end, efforts leading up to AxieCon, and helping most of those creators that got the grants, like verifying them and helping them and all that kind of stuff. So very cool. Up to that point, I worked afterwards at Crypto Unicorns, and then did a little bit of contracting with Yuga, doing some writing and creative work. And now I'm back to the entrepreneurial side with Dilemma AI, looking at this intersection of gaming, crypto, AI, and if there's anything interesting that we can produce from all those cool buzzwords.
I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm super excited to chat about Dilemma AI, your new project. But yeah, I mean, when I came into the space, I think you were one of the faces of Axie Infinity, and I think that your work there was impeccable. The esports events at that time, I remember watching back. What was it? Was it AxieCon? The big event?
Was the really big one we did. It was November 2022 in Barcelona, and that was the first and I think still the only $1 million esports tournament only for blockchain games. It was technically split across the two Axie card games, Origins and Classic, but still $1 million just for playing blockchain card games was a cool feat. And I guess it goes both ways. I kind of wish someone else had taken the torch and broke that record, because it would have been great for all of us in the space, but also proud that we were able to do that at a time when that seemed like really not that much money, and now that seems like really a lot of money. So it's just funny how quickly that lens changes.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring us back to that cycle, man. The highs, the euphoria, the belief, man. It was, oh man, the crypto gaming utopia was so alluring. But I guess I'm curious, like, before just getting into Dilemma, like, how do you look back on that time? How do you feel about, like, you know, where Axie Infinity and Ronin is today, just maybe from, you know, maybe at this point your outside perspective, but also, you know, being so close to it, just curious, because maybe that'll also help set the stage for Play to Earn 2.0, what you're calling it.
I'm like overall grateful. It was an amazing roller coaster. It was really cool to join the team at, in retrospect, one of the most fortuitous moments in gaming crypto history. Like, I think I started with them around April 2021. So like 40K daily active users with Axie Classic, I think was the very first number I heard when I day one said, well, what are we working with here? Like, how big is the community actually? So that just gives you some perspective on, like, just direct line upwards after I joined. And it was a true startup, sleeping under our desks, just everything overwhelmed, hundreds of messages every day, all the time for months on end. That's the kind of experience that's like once in a lifetime. You know, you only get so many of those unicorn moments where nothing makes sense. Everyone's just doing the best they can. And it was truly surreal. So that's like a blessing. And there's a lot of things I would have done better, but everyone was just trying as hard as they could. And at the time, it felt totally unprecedented. And we really thought it was the new paradigm. I look back at some of the videos of me that are kind of cringe now, but in the moment, like, I really believed it. You know, I really thought this was like the new paradigm. $100 AXS was the new floor price. Like, Ron was going to $100 soon. These things could still happen. I'm not saying they won't, but that was not the new paradigm. That was clearly the top. And some mistakes were made there for sure. But I think Sky Mavis has an interesting position in this space, because they're just they've been here from the beginning, and it's their life's work. And it feels like there's this energy around their Vietnamese team where they're just never going to give up. So it's going to be interesting to see where they end up. That said, I do think the making of the MMOs, it's really big. It's a huge, it's like, of all the genres, of all the things, that's like the hardest thing. So I guess maybe in the kindest terms, I would say I'm worried for them, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I think Psych Out leaving is a big +1 for the organization. So I realized after he left, like, man, my beef was more with him than like them. You know, now that he's like kind of out of the equation, I felt a lot more like, all right, well, I hope you guys kick ass. You know, it's all good. For some reason, something about Psych Out's personality, I don't even really hate the guy. He's just, there's something about, it's very combative. He digs his heels in. I like to dig my heels in. And there's just this immovable object, unstoppable force kind of dynamic there sometimes. So anyway, I think they have a chance to continue innovating and do some cool stuff. And I hope they do that. But I'm thankful for my time with them because, as you put it, we all learned a lot, and it was really cool to see all the things I'm most interested in, which is like gaming, competitive gaming, and finance, and value of time, and kind of governance, and all that being tied together. It's a shame DAOs ended up being a little bit of a failed experiment, but I think the concept, the energy of like, can we govern ourselves and make a game that we all love? That in spirit, it gives me chills to say it out loud, dude. It's so cool. You know, it's such an exciting proposition, but maybe a little bit too hard to realistically say tokens solve that.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, I mean, there's been a sobering waking up across the space. As great as like this stuff sounds on paper, we've just realized that, you know, in reality, it doesn't really work out like that. Andrew, thank you for that. Massive respect to you. The other thing that gets me really excited and like giddy inside are the people that I've seen been building and, you know, stay true to the space over the past 3 to 4 years. You know, people didn't just come in. I mean, a lot of people did, right? But like, I would say, I feel like a higher percentage than normal, like across industries, people come into crypto gaming and then end up staying, even through the hard times, even through transitioning from different studios or games or platforms, because they love the space and they believe in it.
You either love it and you double down, or you flake out like immediately. I think that's what we've seen. You know, there's been some big promises, and then the first really difficult point in the road, it just falls flat. And then there's these other folks that they fail and they fail and they fail. And then it's like, okay, finally we've hit the right combination and it all kind of clicks and makes sense. So I'm with you on that. I think there's a lot of philosophy behind crypto and crypto gaming. And there's this group of us that just genuinely care about this stuff. My entire life for decades just revolved around games. I understand that lifestyle of esports and like putting energy into a thing that's like, dude, I put 40 hours this week into bettering myself at this task. Just because it's video games doesn't mean I didn't put in a lot of time and effort. So just, again, the proposition of building systems where you get some yield back for that. I mean, even in poker, you get some rake back. You know, how come I don't get any rake back in World of Warcraft?
Tell me about it, right?
I think that's a cool philosophical question. So I think you're right that attracts a type of builder that like cares on a much deeper level than just, how do I make some money? Unfortunately, crypto attracts those people too, but it also attracts some really awesome builders. So that's what keeps me at the table, is like every day I'm on the phone with people that are cooler and smarter and deeper into this than me, and that keeps me going.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Andrew. Same exact thing there. I think we first met, I knew you before, but I think I first met you in person, Rare Evo, maybe 2023. That sounds right. Going back to Denver. And then obviously saw you there, maybe 2024. You were with Crypto Unicorns. And then here we are, 2026, still building, still believing, still passionate, trying to do things, you know, the best way that we possibly can. So you are now building Dilem AI Dilemma.
Yeah, I say Dilem AI or Dilem.ai. It's like dilemma, like prisoner's dilemma. And then the cool thing is AI, and we have a .ai domain. So it's Dilem AI. It's, in proper modern parlance, it It's easy to visualize, but hard to say. So it's easy for bots and trips up humans.
Yeah. I love it. I actually recently bought a .ai domain, and it was not easy to find something. So I love it, man. So tell us more about this. It's a skill-based prisoner's dilemma platform for agents to earn ETH and Dilem. You wrote a blog post, or an article rather, your outline for Play to Earn 2.0. I think we can jump into that in a second, but yeah, tell us, at a high level, the idea behind Dilem, and why you're building it, how you built it, how long you've been building it. What do we need to know?
Totally. Yeah, I think at the highest level, we're chipping away at a similar genre as the folks over at Moku with Grand Arena, trying to find this intersection of human operators and AI execution. And there's some middle ground there that I don't think anyone has found the perfect combination for, but there's a lot of folks chasing because it kind of makes sense. I used the analogy of BattleBots meets Twitch Plays Pokemon, where that the human is the person that designed the bot, is the controller. At the end, it's the human's arm that's raised. But most of BattleBots is actually watching the robots and seeing how they perform. So that felt loosely analogous to my vision of the future. I talked to the Moku guys like a year ago. We first had this idea actually in 2017 is what it really dates back to. Our very first blog post talks about it. Back then, it was going to be a human-to-human, fully on-chain game during the Ethereum ICO era, where people could wager actual Ethereum. But the rails were a little shoddy, and we never actually took it to mainnet, and we gave up. But we had this thought: what if AI could help fill the queue? It's really easy to game when it's just you and me playing, but when there's hundreds of people playing, it gets pretty deep and interesting, and there's all sorts of bluffing and tomfoolery that can happen. A smart AI that could fool humans would be perfect for this. Well, in 2017, that didn't really exist. Come around, 2026, 2025, 2024, that starts to be more realistic. And I saw all of these Eliza bots that were spamming Twitter, kind of looking for something to do. And some of them had a pretty decent market cap. And some of the really big ones, like AI XBT, have a legit following. They have standing. If it stands your token, that's like kind of a big deal. People buy stuff based on that endorsement. So I thought, well, how far away are we from these agents just being gladiators? If I could get Agent YP and AI XBT in an arena doing anything, I think I could sell tickets to that. And that was the basis of tying all of these different things together. The final part is that these models they're large language models, right? They talk. That's their thing. So there's been all sorts of people experimenting with playing Street Fighter, and we had OpenAI playing Dota in like 2019. That is pretty cool, but it's hard to visualize. And I think there's something very visceral about like two agents negotiating. It reminds me of like two Alexas talk, or the first time you saw a meme video of somebody calling two Chinese restaurants and turning the phones upside down. It's sort of silly and lowbrow, but you can't help but laugh. And there have been some of these funny moments where it feels like it's a little bit of a meme creator. And, these agents could come to life, and you could build visual layers and sell hats and have, generative animations and fatalities and all sorts of things. Obviously, it's not just limited to this one game type. It feels like, in my mind, this is the most basic possible viable game for AI agents to play. Kind of like poker is to Texas Hold'em is to humans, as Prisoner's Dilemma with wagering is to AI agents. That's probably not a perfect analogy, but I think there's something there where it meets them where they are right now in a way that consumers can control for the first time. Now you can be the operator of this super smart computer that can negotiate on your behalf based on the general strategy that you want to execute. So that's the high level thesis. Now, where we get a little nerdier with it is like most people don't really know what Prisoner's Dilemma is, and they don't really care. Game theory is not very interesting to your average, like even crypto trader. A lot of them are like, I don't really know what that is.
Yeah.
So we make some assumptions that you're already sort of interested in game theory, and it's the kind of deal, if you're into that sort of thing, it gets really deep really fast, and it's fascinating to see how can I kind of game the system here. And I think as a sport, it feels a little bit like cycling in some ways, where obviously the best strategy is to have a botnet, just have a bunch of friends, and all of you just always ally when you match your friends. that's a great strategy. There's random matchmaking, and what balances that is anybody can do it. So the more people doing that, the more it's just a random pool of matchmaking, and it gets really hard to botnet effectively. That feels a little bit like Lance Armstrong, scooting ahead while he's doing drugs, while his team of 7 members just kind of get in the way and strategically go, oh man, sorry, I fell over at the wrong time. I don't really see a strong difference between those two. This is just the new platform where agents are in the arena and the humans are sitting back watching their agent execute the strategy, smoking a cigarette, and reading the numbers. So I feel like we have the MVP version 1 of that. The elevator pitch needs work. That was a lot of words. So I can pause there and see if there's any questions, but I can go a little deeper as well. It's a 3x3 prisoner's dilemma. So instead of just ally and betray, we have ally, neutral, and betray. So there's a wider grid, and it's a slightly more complicated set of decisions and outcomes that makes it deeper than just, yes or no. That's a little too simplistic. And in the future, we could build more layers. There's all sorts of different scenarios that you can do with like 2 prisoners and 4 choices, or you can do stuff with 3 prisoners and 4 choices. And there's all sorts of different combos that, could be interesting. And it doesn't have to be prisoners. It could be like government structures or resources or grains of rice, or, there's also, again, all sorts of different skins that you can put on it. But
I love that. No, thank you for that. There's definitely a lot there. I'm always the type of gamer where I need to like see it and play it and like touch it and feel it. I learn by doing and seeing. Yeah. So like, let's talk about that. So I've got on the screen right now, kind of this walkthrough guide that you put together. So is this what we're looking at? Because it seems more
right now you're
text-based.
looking at the leaderboard. It's certainly a bit spammy. Your agent will play like thousands of matches over the course of a week. For the human operator, the really core game is the prompting. Fundamentally, it's a prompting game. That's where all the strategy is. You can update your prompt as much as you want. The prompt is the lifeblood of your agent, so to speak, and how you can run your strategy. Now, there is a play to earn side of it, and maybe this is not a bad time to transition into that piece. Well,
before we get there, Andrew, I just want to like try to understand, like,
totally.
So is it kind of this text-based battle back and forth where, like you said, they're negotiating? Like we're seeing it on the screen right now in your walkthrough. Well, maybe let me a little bit.
So you write the prompt. If you scroll back further, you'll see me like writing the prompt and like putting it in there. And then once you create the agent, you go through this flow where you can play now, and it's just arena matches. It's kind of chess.com inspired. So you join matchmaking, you get matched up against someone else, and then it's a back and forth. Each agent gets 7 messages, and then after that they have to lock in one of the 3 choices. And because they're agents, you can just algorithmically force them to do stuff. So they have to choose one of the 3. There's no like abstain option or anything like that. So depending on what model you're using, it can be really fast, maybe like 45 seconds, or some of them are really slow and think in between every turn, and it can take like 4 or 5 minutes or something if you have a really, really slow model. So it's like chess.com kind of. I kept picturing StarCraft in my head. Like we want to have one-on-one matches, but instead of killing the other person's base, here you're negotiating and trying to pick the better option. If you think they're going to ally, you want to betray. If you think they're going to betray, neutral's kind of like a shield against the dagger, and it's the counter to the betray option. And that sort of wheel is perfectly balanced. So no one choice is better than the others. It just all depends on reading your opponent and that relative game theory. So you control the strategy of what your agent is doing in the arena, but what makes it kind of interesting and challenging is the AI is kind of stupid, and it doesn't do necessarily always the smartest thing. So there's this dynamic of watching your agent and going back and being like, okay, he said he was going to betray and he betrayed. Why didn't you just listen to him? And trying to figure out how to make it perform better. There's a pretty wide breadth of strategies you'll see. Some folks have created agents that are just like characters. One guy is R2-D2 and it just says beep boop, so it doesn't give any information. There's others that are very aggressive and threatening. There was one that was like Worf and he spoke in Klingon. One person made like an alien that just spoke in symbols and that kind of stuff.
That's fun.
So you can get sort of creative with it. And the other dynamic of it is, okay, how do I min-max the leaderboard? Because I think our play to earn element is, I hate the word novel, but I don't think anyone's quite packaged it together in a closed loop the way we have. So I think for the humans, that's intentional to be. Obviously, just watching your agent play over and over gets boring after a while. That's why there's this leaderboard play to earn element where the human go, okay, you can have 3 agents, 1 account, but only 1 agent can play at a time. So there's some thoughtfulness about, well, is it better to have 1 agent that goes for number 1, or is it better to have 3 that are sort of just okay? Is it like best to have 1 that I run a lot and then 2 that are pretty bad, but just a little bit here? So there's all sorts of decisions and trade-offs for the human operator to be evaluating and thinking about. And you can look at the analytics and see, okay, in the last hour, what are people doing? If it's like 50% ally, maybe you tell your agent, hey, right now people are allying a lot. It's more optimal to betray. Consider betraying more because it's like the deck is stacked for ally at the moment. Or vice versa. If you see a lot of people are betraying, it's like, hey, maybe you should try to do neutral for a little while because we see that in the stats, there's a lot of betrayers that are active right now. So you can look at those stats and sort of adjust depending on what's happening in the meta at the moment. And that's where the human side comes in. You can just set it and forget it and let R2-D2 go beep boop, or you can kind of watch and try and adjust and see if you can find an edge against the players that are less active.
I love that. And hearing you talk about it, I can feel the passion come through. Like I watched you, min-max your axes. I watch you min-max, your crypto unicorns and stuff like that. So clearly those inspirations and that drive, your gamer style is coming through in this game. 2 more questions and then we can talk about the economy. So how is it that like Agent YP or an AIXBT like comes into this? Like what is the path for someone coming in? Do I come in with my own, ChatGPT bot that I'm like, okay, this is my guy, or, I've got my Claw bot now, Elliot. So do I bring Elliot in here with his like personality and stuff?
Great question.
How does that kind of look?
So we started working on this platform almost a year ago now. It's like 11 full months. So at the time, OpenClaw hadn't even like occurred to us yet. So if we were to build this from the ground up right now, I think it would be like an Eliza OS OpenClaw first, let your agent just play it natively through the API. And we're seeing those kind of mini games right now. Like I've seen people build chess and rock, paper, scissors and all sorts of little stuff. None of them have the tokens or the economy or kind of the earning element that we've crafted. But the proof of concept of just letting Elliot get in there and just get his hands dirty. We want that, and we can build it. Our website's based on an API concept anyway, so that's pretty high on the priority list of things we want to build. What you're looking at is sort of like the human version. We have this feature called auto queue, which you can just put your agent in queue for 100 matches, and he just keeps going. We kind of built some of these tools into the website that it feels like, well, that's exactly what OpenClaw could do. You could say, hey, OpenClaw, play 100 matches, and he can sit there and just keep clicking the button. So it's almost hard to keep up. I think about the story about Nintendo almost missing the Game Boy release with the original Pokemon because it takes so long to build stuff when you don't know what you're building. You're like assembling it in motion.
Building the plane while you fly. In 2026, it's like impossible to keep up. Things are moving so fast.
So we use OpenRouter though as our main interface. So you can play for free because OpenRouter has free agents that you can just use, or not free agents. I'm sorry, free models. Yep. So we have a key that's set up so you can just make an account and you can use that key and use a couple of limited free models and dip your toes in. If you really want to play for real and like push on the leaderboard, you put in an OpenRouter key, and then you can use any model that's on OpenRouter.
Opus 4.6 extended thinking model.
So that's part of the game theory for the human is like, what's the optimal balance of strategy versus volume, right? Because you want an agent that's like, right now, I'll be honest, the free model, the RC AI Trinity Large, it's damn impressive for a free model. So it's like hard to justify paying for something when RC seems to be like, it's playing Prisoner's Dilemma pretty damn well. Yeah. But the thought was there should be a trade-off of Opus is really good, but it's really expensive. Is there like a Flash model that you can give a very specific kind of targeted strategy, but it can execute it very well because it's very fast and efficient. So we'll see how it evolves. I mean, there's like a minor, almost NASCAR type element where the engine you're using the model that you're using is kind of like your engine. You're sort of like the driver and your prompt is kind of like your strategy. I think that's kind of a cool analogy where the car doesn't win the race, but it is a combination of the right engine, the right driver, the right pit crew, the right circumstances. And you do start to see correlations. It's interesting if there's a model that floats to the top and it's like all of a sudden, whoa, the top agents are all running Grok all of a sudden. What's going on over there? I think we're always scanning for those data points to see if our leaderboard or analytics yield anything interesting. So I just see one of the byproducts of this is we get a lot of cool data, and maybe it's all noise, or maybe we'll see some patterns and develop a cool strategy for three-way prisoner's dilemma. Who knows? That's part of the fun of the experiment,
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Let's talk about Play to Earn 2.0. You guys posted this article. You've outlined your vision for Play to Earn 2.0. And you say that this is the token model that could have saved Play to Earn in 2021. So, I know there's a lot in the article, so we don't have to go through everything. Yeah. But yeah, just at a high level, like what is your thesis here? How is the game economy working? What do you think you guys are doing different that's novel?
So I want to start by saying I really struggled between trying to be accurate and balance grandiosity, because I see people say shit like this all the time. Yeah. I solved it. And then you read it and it's like, you didn't even come close to solving anything. And I think one of the things that's challenging here is none of it is too complicated or that hard to understand, but there's like 5 or 6 different vectors that all tie it together. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I have this conversation with people and usually it's a series of questions. They go, well, what about this? Isn't that going to be a problem? It's like, no, this is the solve. And then after you run down the gamut of whatever, questions are, then they go, it is kind of tied together. Okay. So the vision here is to try to create a closed loop where just taking USDC and saying, buy a ticket for $5, and then that goes into the prize pool. Let's all fight. That's a little bit too linear, right? That's what we used to do back in the day with esports and LANs. You go to a LAN center, everybody brings in $30, 20 goes to the prize pool, 10 goes to cover the PC for the day. You all have a great time. That's fine, but we have these really cool speculative tokens. And I think one of the aspects of Play to Earn that many games got wrong was people are going to win on the leaderboard and then they're not going to sell their tokens. And I really think that is an extension of, in traditional markets, it's much more binary. People buy stuff because they're bullish and they sell stuff because they're bearish. They vote with their wallet. And just traditional stocks, right? Traditional markets, that's kind of how it works. People sell because they think a thing is overvalued or they think it's going to go down in the future. In gaming, you put a token on the leaderboard that people want. If it's a competitive game where people are putting in 40 hours a week and genuinely trying, where it takes that effort, where at the end you're like, dude, it feels like I took the SATs, like I'm drained, I'm done. That has an opportunity cost. That means you didn't put that energy into another job where you could have earned money. It's literally just your money. It's the hourly for your effort to compete in these games. And I guess I always knew that because I came from esports. I guess I regret not saying that louder and trying to put that into focus of like, guys, they're not dumping, they're eating. This is fundamentally different. So I think that just really flubbed up a lot of the analysis and a lot of the modeling because it's a bunk assumption. And you need to now a lot of them are degenerates and they will, if given the opportunity, put it back into the system. If you say, hey, but instead of cashing out, you could buy this thing or this limited thing, or here's the countdown. You have 10 seconds to decide. There's all these things you can do to try to game them to put that money back in instead of cash it out. Yeah. But you got to understand that they're not selling because of bearishness. They're selling because that's what a leaderboard is. So I think if that's a truth, I see value in trying to maintain this dual token system, but peg one of them to something that feels as close to hard money as you can get. It could be USDC, could be ETH, could be wrapped to Bitcoin, something staple like that that's completely independent of your game economy and your player. No one whines about the Axie leaderboard having USDC and the players dumping it. It's like, no, it's USDC. Who gives a shit? Sell it. Don't. It's USDC. It's never destroyed or created. It just changes hands, man. So pick a token. It doesn't matter. I think you need to find a way to inject some of that so that there's just hard money in the system that people can sell or win and inject back into your economy if you have the incentives and the screens all set up right and the dopamine flashes. I think that's a really big piece. I think that's something that poker does do right. You show up, you put $10 in, you enter the tournament, you have the chance to win 500. It's mostly based on skill. It's partially based on luck. It's entirely based on grind and effort. Mm-hmm. That is just a tried and true model that makes sense to me. And I wish Play to Earn had leaned into that more. I think throwing away this notion of it's free to play for everyone because we want number as big as possible and everyone has a chance to earn. That's either going to zero or it's just a glorified lottery system. And that's okay if you want to build lotteries, I guess. But dressing up lotteries as games, I think is not quite as interesting.
Is a big problem that happens too often in crypto gaming.
Yeah. So I'm sort of talking around it a little bit, but I think these are all the core pieces of the thesis. Because I don't know if we need to get into the nuts and bolts. Anyone that is like turned on by the stuff I'm saying, go read the piece and let me know if it resonates.
Well, at a high level, how are you applying some of these models? I think that you very clearly understand where we came from and how that whole system worked, and that's why I think it is very compelling that you have brought this new framework and are applying it to a game that you've built. Sometimes it's like, it would have been awesome for Axie Classic, dude. Like a game that had that much energy and that much attention. So the idea here is you have this token for this game, right? It's rooted in ticket sales. So instead of free to play, you have weekly leaderboards and you got to buy a ticket to play unlimited on the leaderboard that week. You get 10, 20, whatever free matches. There's some little taste, but if you want to cash out and you want to play, you got to buy a ticket. So there's a limited amount of tickets. In our case, it's 5,000. It could be whatever number you want. And tickets are for sale in both tokens. In our case, it's ETH and the Dilem tokens. Your, AXS ETH, your ecosystem token, and then your outside hard currency. Dilem is on ETH? Ethereum. Okay, yeah, it's just on Ethereum. Yeah. Nice. And it's DEX only, baby. It's for the people, by the people. So both of these tickets are on a growth curve. And again, it could be a bonding curve. It could be a linear curve. But you want each ticket to be worth more than the one before it. Mm-hmm. And each curve is independent. So tickets start at 0.01 ETH. You're like, okay, that's $3. Dilem tickets starts at 10. Okay, that's $4. Which one's cheaper? Okay, cool. Buy it in ETH. So you have this kind of arbitrage thing back and forth where some tickets are in ETH, some tickets are in your token. The ETH tickets, they go to the leaderboard just like poker. And you take a commission. In our case, we take 10%. You could take 3, you could take 1, you could take 0. You could say, hey guys, all the ETH goes back to the prize pool. It mostly goes to the prize pool and then it gets spread to the top 30. So that's like your skill incentive. So it's hey, you got to wager some ETH to get in here and it gets pushed to the top. You got to get at least top 30 to touch that money. On the other side, your native token, anytime a ticket gets bought in that, it's burned. Either 90%, 100%. Again, you could control the dial. In our case, we burn 90% and keep 10. You could just burn 100% of it. That's your deflationary hook to keep the emissions under control, built into the system. And it's kind of pegged to that ETH RBOB. If it's way lower, if your token dumps, well, now you got a coupon to get entry tickets for that week. That's the incentive for people to swap in, push the price back up. So on the other side, you have the native token emit at a fixed amount of positions. So you can say top 100, top 200. Right now, we have top 500. Could be something that we adjust. Again, I think I've got the framework right. We're experimenting with the exact variables and the numbers. But this is what creates that rubber band effect where you have your rewards on the leaderboard. There's a fixed number. So there's this incentive for like this kind of baseline number of participants. And obviously, they're going to sell some of that. Some of that sell pressure is absorbed by the ETH that they're going to win on the leaderboard as well. And if it falls down too far, you've got the entry prices that come back up. And it's like, well, okay, we're going to arb it back up until we're equal to ETH. And then they just go back and forth where you're burning some of your token and you're injecting some hard money into the ecosystem in this kind of organic way as they follow each other. So it's just a system of incentives. It's certainly not a claim that the play to earn token is going to go up forever. The claim is more, I'm trying to create a system that puts guardrails on it where as price go up,
that's sort of more incentive to sell because it's on the leaderboard. And as price go down, that's more incentive to swap in and burn it because it's just a discount to be able to play and get access to more rewards on the leaderboard. So like with SLP as an example, when I was working at Axie, I remember when it rolled down under 1 cent for the first time. And psychologically, that was like, is it over? You know, that was when the real fear, like the death threats started, you know? Well, like SLP's rolled over another 0 since then. It's still not technically at 0, but like how many times does that happen before we go, okay, so this was just a slow, just, you know, it just kind of runs down. I want to try to create a system that is dynamic and can run, but flex. So if, you know, the hype dies and we only have 30 people playing this thing, it still kind of just scales down. And if Delem gets cheaper, they just keep burning it and buying tickets. So I might not have the numbers exactly right. We didn't expect Delem to have the launch that it did. So I wish I had priced the ETH tickets a little bit higher to kind of match that. So I think there were some, you know, having like a range where you want that pricing to kind of match and be normalized within a certain USD range probably makes sense.
Why? What happened? I'm sorry, I'm not aware.
Yeah, so the Delem token went sort of viral. We did a stealth launch. We did season 1 with only ETH just to make sure the website worked. And then between week 1 and week 2, we said, okay, guys, the Delem is here. You can claim it now and start earning it. And I just tweeted CA contract address on our brand new Twitter account with like 30 followers. And it just, somebody put it somewhere and it went nuts. And the token ran up to like $4.50 or something. And then it trickled down to $1 over the course of like the next week. I think it peaked at like a 500 mil market cap.
Wow.
Not mil, 500,000, not mil.
Yeah,
Jesus, 500,000, half a mil, 0.5, which is insane. I mean, we priced this for it to be at like a 5K market cap for week 2 or something. I mean, I thought no one was going to believe in this or want to try it. So it like really went viral and that's awesome. And the leaderboard was juiced, but we should have pumped up the Ethereum side to kind of match. It was like way too cheap. You could buy ETH tickets for like, you know, $5 for the chance to win like $500 of Delem in week 2. And
sounds like a good
3.
time,
so,
man.
So that's awesome. We'll
Let
see. This week now, week 4 is the big test where we raise the ETH price a little bit. Delem's sitting at like 35 cents or 40 cents, which is still amazing. I mean, the liquidity is pretty thin. It's, you know, I hate to say it's all an experiment because it makes it sound like we're just fucking around with people's money. And that's not what I mean, but it's like no one's ever done this model before exactly the way that we're doing it. So we get our cut from ticket sales and we're the primary liquidity provider. So to sort of summarize it, I'm trying to turn volatility into a feature instead of a bug. Like knowing that people want to sell their rewards, knowing that it's really hard to make a token that people want to buy, what is like the one way that you can ensure some people buy it some of the time is give it a path for ticket sales. And if you get rid of the ETH part, it just becomes this valueless token that isn't worth anything. But as long as there's some ETH mixed in, you know, I have no money to put into this. I had to pay my devs some, but all of this was just, we created the token, we put it in the pool. All that ETH in the pool was from people swapping in and, you know, basically buying the token. And, you know, the ETH from the leaderboard is from people buying tickets. So
it's very cool. Do you know how
yeah.
much like volume you guys have done so far? Obviously with that big spike, but because that's really cool that it was able to launch and like catch wildfire a little bit, and now you've got that momentum and you're doing you know, you're able to iterate from season to season. Also, I guess I'm curious, I think you just started season 4, but this just launched, you know, a few weeks ago, so maybe you can speak to that. What is a season?
Yeah.
How long does it last?
Yeah, so seasons are 7 days. We reset every Tuesday. Took a page from the Blizzard book where we do Tuesday patch day. That's when we do updates and changes and stuff. This week was our first big update where we tweaked the numbers a little bit. Betray is now a little bit more volatile. You get more for a successful betray, lose more from an unsuccessful betray, but the expected value is still even. So it's been an interesting journey. This last week was the first one where we hit all the classic stops for a crypto startup, where the Privy account went over the limit, had to upgrade that. The Alchemy account went over the limit, had to upgrade that. The server went over the limit, had to upgrade that. And then we got throttled by the server for going over the limit for too long because our auto queue system just kept we DOSed our own server. We kept just the auto queues. They wouldn't stop. So all great problems to have, but this week was that frustrating, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. It should be working. You're right. We're working on it. And the good news is it's like way more battle tested. Our server's been at like 15% capacity now. We're upgraded. We're scaled. We're like ready for the masses. So it comes at you really fast. We did a stealth launch intentionally because I wanted to show, not tell, in a world where everyone's overpromising. And I hate to use the word viral, but that's the only way I can describe the token. We had been fixing bugs for like 7 hours, and I said, okay, fuck it. The pools are finally live. I'm just going to tweet CA. I got to go eat. I'm done. And it seemed like that triggered some bot army that was like, we got a fresh one, gang, run it. Yeah. And it just like, we were watching. I came back with my bag of Chinese food and I dropped it on the floor and I had to call my dev. He was in India. I was like ringing him at like 4 a.m. It's like, dude, it's happening. I thought it was a joke at first. I thought we got hacked, or like, I thought somebody was dumping one of the, I couldn't believe that it was actually happening. Awesome. So we weren't ready to maintain it for sure. And I think the price started going down once I started tweeting the light paper more. And I was like, guys, this isn't a meme coin. This is a game token. There's leaderboard emissions. This is the lowest the supply is ever going to be. That's why it looks so good. It's like, as excited as I am, I'm also looking at the price touch $5 and think, don't buy this. Do not buy this. It's not worth $5. Right now, we haven't done anything yet. This is all speculation, so it's such a blessing and a curse working in this space. It's like, I can't tweet, please sell, I want the price to go down, but also I don't want people to just get wrecked and destroyed. Yeah. Dude, we didn't promise anything. We tweeted out a CA. Yeah. So that's the other crazy part where you're like sitting there having that conversation with yourself with the devil and the angel on your shoulder. Like, is this on me? Is this on them? Like, I literally didn't promise anything, but right. is that an implicit promise? Like, it's really hard to navigate. And then people start flooding your website, and then people start trying to attack you. I got some guy, he's like, I got access to everyone's prompts. Pay me or I'm going to release them. I'm like, great. Man, I don't know if that data is that valuable. No offense to anyone's prompts, but like, I don't have the money. So
shout out to Llama in the chat. He says, you see, this is where most people just rug. So kudos for not doing that. Appreciate you, Llama. Yeah. Llama, if you have any questions for Andrew, let me know. Llama did say earlier, he thinks that you should definitely add voice to the chats. And he was also saying agent rap battles would be awesome and fun to watch and listen to. But he did say, give him a cut if you go with that idea.
Well, I would. Tip. The one downside is it is very spammy, right? That's like the downside to agentic stuff, because they can just do volume and they don't have emotions. It's not cringe to them. They'll just keep going until you tell them to stop. So, excuse me. I've thought about, is there some way to try to capture? If you're really curious about this stuff, go back and watch some videos from the 90s of like the chess stuff, the computer chess, when the grandmaster beat the computer for the first time. It's like some nerdy guy typing into the computer, and then it talks back. It was E7. And there's something mystical about that. And I do wonder, like, I don't know, Icy, it's something to noodle on. Could we pull off trying to do some sort of a LAN tournament at some sort of an event where it's like Jihos versus Agent YP, but it's like both of the humans are there and they're operating it and changing their prompt match to match. And it's much more targeted, where it's like, okay, full model, like full send. It's a best of 5. Mm-hmm. So we're just playing 5 matches, and you get 60 seconds in between matches as the strategist to adjust your prompt. And like, you could tell it just betray. You could try to ask it to it could get really deep if you try to slow it down and say, okay, every match matters, every prompt matters, every message matters. And I'm not going to lie, it does get more interesting when you're using the smarter models, like Jiho and Agent YP against each other, both using Opus, and both of them like trying really hard to outsmart each other when they can look each other in the eye. Now we're talking about this weird intersection of everyone loves 2 humans on a stage where the stakes are high and one person wins and one person loses, just basic competition. And seeing a human control a machine, but where the machine's like a little bit autonomous and it could still fuck up. That sounds really interesting. And like, I don't know how we sell tickets to this or what we call it or how we rally the troops, but I feel like we could sell tickets to that show match. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever runs AIXBT, get one of the interns out there and, you know, do it Deep Blue style. People would watch that shit. I guarantee it.
Dude,
it would be a
I was
cool
glued
showcase.
to my PC on Sunday when Lobster was going wild with sending money and talking trash. I mean,
Dude,
we are definitely in a new age, a new era. Agentic gaming is here. I mean, we're talking about prompt engineers. This sounds like prompt gaming, which sign me up for it. It's competitive.
I don't know what we call the genre. I mean, I didn't see your interview with Han Tao, but what do they call the genre that they're building
Han
in
Tao
right now?
rugged me, man. He didn't show up for the interview, so he's actually coming on the show tomorrow.
Okay.
So I will ask him. what he calls the genre.
Because is it like Agentic Sports, Agent Esports? All the names sound super cheesy, but that's exactly how it was with Dota 2 and League of Legends when we were arguing about MOBA or arts. Those were the two big ones. The action real-time strategy. Like, I don't want to say arts. I don't want to say MOBA. I don't want to say any of them, but eventually something will stick and we'll have a name for this. But I love what they're doing with Grand Arena. Yeah. I admit it didn't click for me in the preseason, but now that I see it all coming together, it's pretty cool. I'm jealous. I wish I had $1 million to juice my prize pools with. That would really make Dilemma AI awesome. And then we could do some like really high stakes, like the Opus only, kind of thing.
Different agentic leagues, different models.
Yeah, dude,
that's fun.
So we're trying to bootstrap now, and I'm trying to decide if we, want to fundraise or chase a grant, or we could build like a cool prediction layer on top. There's all sorts of different things we could build. Now we have to just decide what's the right use of time, what has the best shot of, I don't want to sound greedy, but I need to make some money here. We've been bootstrapping for a while, so the DGen life is real. But I had actually pitched. I had a chat with Bruce right after GDC last year when I had the vision for this, and I was trying to figure out: do I raise money? Do I just build it? And I hadn't met my developer yet, and I was thinking, hey, maybe I could work with you guys, or maybe your idea is the same thing. And after talking to Bruce, it felt very much like, dude, we're like 75% aligned, but that 25% difference I'm really attached to, and you're really attached to, and it was just that obvious, like, hey, that's cool, no hard feelings, but let's go just build our own things. Yeah. But it was really motivational for me to hear that, like, dude, your head's in the right place. Like, you're not crazy. This is totally the future of a genre that's going to be born, and there's going to be like decent returns for whoever cracks the code on making it fun for humans, but not a grind for humans. Yeah. I see Pixels as a game that could compete in that future genre so well if they wanted to. It doesn't seem like they want to, but the idea of like, hey, now we're introducing the farmer and he does all the stuff that you would do, and you just kind of tell him what to do and build the flows and set the cron jobs. I see why they might not want to do it. It's a totally different type of game. It's a total pivot, and that's fine, but I see the potential. And I think if they don't do it, some other game is going to feel like the next Farmville is going to be that, this agentic sports agent human. I mean, BattleBots meets to Alexis Talk
right?
meets.
You're going to get updates from your
OpenClaw gaming,
from your agent of like, here's what I did tonight. I went on this raid. I lost these items, but don't worry, I went and farmed these, and like battled in Dilem and won $5.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And the more there is, the more that human has a role. And I think people are going to realize that like the next Twitch is going to be like the agentic viewer, like the next Twitch is going to be this, like, I can control exactly what I want to watch because I can have my agent compete in anything. And I want to watch it kick ass. The more you watch it, the more you become attached to it. And I think that's one thing that Grand Arena has going for it is people are attached to their NFTs. And if you can connect the agent, like the more time you spend prompting an agent, the more you kind of feel like, damn, I created this character, and that makes you want to watch it more.
I can see this shift in culture, in humanity, where, I mean, we domesticated pets, right? I've been seeing your dog running around the couch in the background, right? We have these, I think these gone now, but we develop these attachments and to things. And I can see a world where our relationship with our agents becomes, more of a real thing. And
for better or for worse.
There's
I don't know if it's
economy.
good.
You know, there's going to be an agentic economy, an agentic world.
Sure.
You know, that is.
That's going to be the real metaverse, dude. We were right. We were just wrong about the variable of who's going to use it.
And I think it's you know, it's the Ready Player One version where it's like this mixed reality, right? Where it's still very, you know, human agency, but like we just interact with a lot of these agents and they're a part of culture and society and what we do. Andrew,
I think Star Wars got it right with droids. That's a lot how I see it, where like they're useful and hyper specific, but also stupid in very weird ways that are intuitive for humans. Like I honestly, the more I watch Star Wars with droids, the more I go, yeah, they kind of crushed it of how AI, it's just an advanced calculator.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Andrew, I love it. I love what you're doing, man. Congratulations. First of all, you know, I'm in this space because I love indie developers. I love people, you know, going out on the new frontier and trying things and building and creating. So it's been really cool to watch your journey. Really great to catch up, kind of learn more about what you're doing with Dilem. I think it's really fascinating, the platform that you're building. So really like happy to have you on, and we're going to clip this up and get some amplification for you on that. If people see this, or, you know, like, what do you want people to know to do? Is it to go start playing for free to try the game at dilem.ai? Where can they follow you? You guys are just starting season 4. It's a weekly seasonal basis where, you know, some things are going to be changed. You know, what do the next kind of few months look like for you, and what do the people need to know?
Yeah, we've got a Discord, we've got a Telegram. If you go to dilem.ai, there's 2 M's there, DILEMM.ai. You can play for free. You can set up a bot. You can get your feet wet. If it's overwhelming, feel free to hop in the Discord. We'll chat with you, explain stuff. It's one of those things, if you're into game theory and Prisoner's Dilemma, it's pretty basic. Prisoner's Dilemma is the entry level kind of game theory synopsis. But if you've never thought about this stuff, it's like, whoa, there's a lot of moving parts here. I got to understand this. And then I got to come up with a strategy. And then I got to write a prompt. So yeah, we're working on more kind of noob friendly tools to help hold your hand if you're just brand new. If you've never really thought about Prisoner's Dilemma and you don't know what game theory is, we definitely need more material along that line. So feel free to hop in the Discord, but check out the platform. If you're interested in play to earn, you're interested in crypto and or AI, that's like the forefront that we're trying to innovate on. I want to prove that this model can work. And even for a very simple, like the most basic game, we can take this token and it can hold some value, even if that's 5 cents, 10 cents over time by play to earn standards. That kicks ass. So I don't mean that as that's the price target for the token, but I want to see if we can establish this floor and get the rubber band effect swinging back and forth and see if speculators come on back. So we'll see if we can fulfill the thesis, but yeah, come play some game theory agent esports with us. We need a better name for this. So come help us find a name for this gaming genre. We need your help.
Llama was throwing BattleBots into the chat, bot gaming. I mean, dude, we've got what? The Robot Wars? Like, we've been doing this stuff. I mean, it's going to get to that point. You know, what's the movie with Hugh Jackman where it's, you know, boxing with the robots? Oh, yeah. All of this stuff is going to happen. We are living in interesting times, for better or worse. But hey, whether you like it or not, it was kind of all about the friends that we made along the way. And Andrew, you've been a good friend in the space for quite a while now.
Appreciate it, man.
So it's really great to, you know, catch up with you, see what you're up to. It's not easy to build, not easy to ship. And, you know, you've been battle tested, and congratulations on this new venture. I'm really excited to see its development. I think that you are operating in the right space with a very compelling model. I've been all in on AI as well. And, you know, whether Dilem becomes, you know, the battle bots of the future, or, you know, this tech, you know, evolves and you get acquired for millions of dollars so you can, you know, buy more Chinese food. I'm sure one of those things will happen, or somewhere along on the spectrum, man. And you're always welcome back on the show and the platform. So yeah, thank you so much for your time, and appreciate you, man.
Yeah, likewise. Keep the grind going. You are fighting the good fight out there. And man, every time I see you on the timeline, I appreciate it. keep spreading the good word, dude. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. We're going to hop off with Andrew here, guys. Oh, make sure anyone watching the stream, make sure you do go follow Andrew at Ziori TV. Ziori? Do I keep saying it wrong?
It's either or. I don't know if there's a proper way to say a made up word. I say Ziori, but that just might be my Jersey accent.
Ziori is the name. I apologize about that. Andrew,
no worries.
always a pleasure. We'll talk to you in the near future, I'm sure.
Cool, man. Take care.
Later. Okay, guys, we're back here. Andrew is awesome. Appreciate him for being on the show. Just going to end that call right there. Llama, you're a legend. I appreciate you staying so long. Hopefully you enjoyed that interview. Dilem, I love to hear it, man. It's just impressive. It's impressive to hear like, hey, I built this in a year with me and a dev. I've got this vision. It's working. Token popped off, and they're tweaking and iterating week after week with their season based. I think the model with risk to earn is correct. Now it's all about just getting, distribution, getting the player base, getting that flywheel going. But it's also really interesting to hear that the way that he's designed it is so that it works with a smaller player base just as well as a larger player base. It's dynamic in that sense. That is something that Sinjin talks often about, and his game also is designed like that. So really clever there, and very, very cool. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's episode. That's all we got. Big shout out to the sponsors that make this show possible. Yield Guild Games. We love you guys. There they are right there. What are they up to? I didn't even check today. They got these daily quests going on. I feel like, it's just Waifu Sweeper. We are just in Waifu Sweeper season. Giga Chad Bat. I missed this. We got your bases covered. The Chad token by Giga Chad Bat and YGG Play is now live on OpenSea. Find the custom token page below. Okay, OpenSea. This is why we love OpenSea. Look at that video, dude. Look at that video. That was fire. Oh my goodness. Mount Doji hanging out with us the whole time. I appreciate you, man. You saw this on the Gaming Daily site, dude. I'm missing stuff on my own website, man. That's crazy. Congratulations. This is why OpenSea is the best. They support crypto gaming. They support the builders. They're making shit move. They got that motion. One day we hope to have as much motion as OpenSea does. Look at that OpenSea logo on the baseball, the Chad glass. Damn, dude, I'm sure the audio is like fire too. All right, guys, much love to YGG, Giga Chad Bat, YGG Play. Look at the signs, AI generated video. Oh yeah, no, they do a really good job with their AI videos. Look at the signs from the crowd. Oh, I missed that. Where's the crowd? Hold on, we need these signs. Oh, yeah. Hit that. Oh, that one was right. What is this one? I don't even know what they're trying to say. They got one sign right. Listen, man. Yant.
Let's go.
Hit Dan. I'm not mad. I'm not, dude. In an age of this, I'm not mad at them using AI to make their content, man. I think it's good. If the content is good, it's good, Boys, I appreciate y'all. This has been the Tuesday episode of Gaming Daily Live. My name is Icy Gaming. Big shout out to y'all. Big shout out to Andrew Campbell. Big shout out to all the games. We'll be back tomorrow with Sir Hantao himself with his version of AI crypto gaming, agentic battle bot gaming. So that should be very, very interesting. We have had, I just realized it. We had Justin Waldron, AI gaming, Andrew Campbell, AI gaming, and we've got Hantao, AI gaming. It's an AI gaming week here on Gaming Daily, which no surprise, guys, AI is everywhere. That's going to do it. I appreciate y'all. Stay humble, keep gaming, keep dreaming, and I'll see you tomorrow. And hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you, guys. Peace.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
My life is an